Hi, I'm just doing this documentation and presentation because I'm very serious about my music. And I just want to, I'm trying to see where this is going to go. And nobody knows the future, nobody knows, but I've been praying a lot. And I saw, I saw this very amazing musician called Yanni, and he does beautiful music. I mean, it's just amazing. He travels the universe, and I prayed about this for a long time. It came to me to explore this possibility. I ended up meeting him at the Straw Center in Tampa, and I was going to go with this. Oh, so I want to do this vlog to document the progress to on this journey, and the feeling that I got, like when so I'm going to tell you the really interesting how it happened. He was coming to town. I wanted to see him in person alone without his band members, and ends up my girlfriend was going to go with me. She was going to drive, and she got sick at the last minute, and she said she couldn't take me, and I was like, this is like in half an hour. We were going to be there in half an hour. So I was like very disappointed. I hung up the phone. I'm like, it's all right because your safety comes first. Then I prayed and I said, God, you put the sun in the sky and the stars and the moon. This is like nothing for you to accomplish. But I wasn't going to push the issue. I felt like, if this was really from God's hand, I said, this is what I put out there. I said, God, this is from your hand. You move your hand. Because I've seen you move. When I pray for people on my hands and knees, I've seen God move. And very quickly. And I see manifestation. So ends up, I said to God, you get a ride here. I'm not going to call a cab. I'm not going to call a limo. You do it. I'm just going to sit here. And I hung up the phone. I was crying. And my girlfriend calls me back like 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. She goes, you know what? I don't understand, but I have to take you. And I'm like, are you sure you're up to this? So she came. She was fine. We went to Tampa. We went around the block like 5 times to the stadium. We couldn't find a parking place. I'm like, this is crazy. So it ends up, I said to her, I know I have to be here. I know. So I went to the ticket office and I said, I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes. If you would be so kind to please have someone, if you could assist me. So 1 minute later, this guy walks up and he goes, ma'am, where can I park your car? So ends up, he parked it in front of the stadium. We walk right into the place where Yanni was. Ma'am, you're live on the air with Yanni. I'm like, that's crazy. That's incredible. Not personally, ma'am, but you're live on the air with Yanni, because he was taping a show for international television. So I said to the usher, how may I most respectfully and appropriately address him? Because I really wanted to be very business. He said, I'm going to get you a microphone. So it ends up, I talked to Yanni, I introduced myself, and I said, I sing multiple languages. I hear you're very multicultural and as well as very multi-ethnical. And do you ever embrace people for music sponsorships? So he said, yeah, most of his band's members, he has embraced them. He has homegrown them. They have talent within themselves, but he sends them all over the world to special schools, and he pays for this. So interesting. So when he was talking about this, in my mind, I'm thinking, God, make him focus on me, because I traveled a long way. And he started to shake. I mean, he didn't know my thoughts, but he said to me, are you asking me to embrace you? I'm thinking, bingo. I said to him, yes, sir. And he started to laugh, and I said, I have a CD for you if you'd be so kind to review it at your leisure. He was so warm, so kind. And he said, thank you. So it ends up we're listening to, he's an amazing composer, pianist. And during the time we spent there were like angels, beautiful angels all around. You could just feel the Holy Spirit, the angels, just so beautiful, beautiful experience. And my girlfriend, we were so glad we went, and I know that it was from the hand of God, because it was just amazing. The timing, when I just walked in the door after going around the block 5 times, and you just walk in the door, that's crazy. So anyway, ends up, I'm praying about this, and I hear in my mind, don't push him, just don't push him, and so I don't. Time goes by, and I'm getting antsy. I sent my CD to his manager in California. Then a couple months go by, and I'm going to listen to my inner instincts, because this is, I'm really trying to be good at this. I'm not perfect, but I try really hard. Anyway, so ends up, I'm in the kitchen. There's like this deafening silence in my kitchen. I just learned to just pause and be still and hear what my inner guidance. It sounds crazy, but whatever. Ends up, I hear in my mind, the reason it's not happening now because you have Mocha, and you're not willing to let him go. You cannot travel with Mocha, and you're not willing to let him go because it's my cat. And he's like 24 years old, and no, I was not going to expedite his departure for any reason. And he was very sick, and I want to be with my cat and take care of him till the end. And so ends up, I had peace. I just kept feeding my cat, doing everything to take care of him, moving on with life. And like then about a month ago, my cat died in my arms, which I prayed to God that if he was going to pass away, that he would die in my arms, and he did. I kissed him, and he died, and he purred. He was like, he knew I loved him. Anyway, so I ended up burying him in the backyard. I'm still mourning his loss, and ends up, I had 2 weeks ago, I had like a near-death experience. It was incredibly crazy, but I got through it, and I'm okay. I was just kind of really dehydrated, and I just really got sick. They had to rush to the hospital. I was unresponsive. I wasn't responding right, and it ends up I was very catatonic from dehydration. So, long story short, when the paramedics were here, they were asking me if I had a baby. They saw this little cow that my cat had when he was born. I gave it to him when he was sick, and anyway, that made me come back. I don't know why, but it made me come back to reality and kind of more focused, and I couldn't feel my body, but I was trying so hard to stay here, and it ends up I was okay. And so after that experience, the reason I bring it up, after that experience, I decided that I wanted to move forward with my music very quickly and now, because life is short. And so I said, I was kind of praying, and I said to God, I want to, how can I do this? And the feeling I got was, don't get up in his face, just be warm. And I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? So something came to me to send him a recordable Christmas card. So I put my music in the Christmas card. I sent it with the Three Stooges to the post office. Didn't scan it. Where it is right now, I don't know, but at least I know I sent it to the right address.